Hi there, welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Eric Chilton. This is Sydney Moore. That is Claire Front. We're all here.
Hello.
We're all here.
It is Wednesday. Oddly for me, it feels like a Tuesday. I don't know. This week is going by kind of slow for me.
I agree.
This is my Monday.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so we're just kicking off, right? We're just getting started, right? Hump day though for everyone else.
That's right. That's right. Well, good to see you on this.
Yes.
On your Monday, my Wednesday. Well, let's start here. Safety is top of mind in Winston-Salem. This morning, the city hosted its joint public safety news conference with police and the fire department.
Yeah, officials shared updates on everything from Domestic Violence Awareness Month to Fire Prevention Week. So in the conference, Winston-Salem Police announced its second steering wheel lock giveaway. This is for Hyundai and Kia owners. Now, you remember earlier this year, those vehicles got a lot of bad attention after several stories of the cars being stolen.
The goal is to try to get the locks out to those that may not already have the security system placed on their cars so that we can protect our citizens as well as their possessions.
That giveaway is scheduled for next Wednesday at 7 a.m. It will happen at the Winston Mutual Building. That's on East 5th Street. The police department say they have 240 locks to give away, and it is first come, first serve. Officer Costner says the last time they did this giveaway, it was over in about 15 minutes.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. Another social media threat disrupts classes at a triad school. Lexington City Schools says Lexington Middle School had a 2-hour delay this morning because of potential online threat. Today's incident marks the 5th time the district has been affected by a threat in the last 10 days. Earlier this week, Lexington police and the district shared one teenager was arrested and expected to face charges for at least one of the threats. We've reached out to the district for more information about what prompted the delay.
Meanwhile, over in Randolph County, the sheriff's office says they are understaffed and overcrowded in the jail. Captain Cody Rich says it's gotten so bad some inmates are having to sleep on the floor. They say retaining officers, that's hard as well. The sheriff's office says it's trying to find more workers to help with strained resources.
Meanwhile, closer to home in Greensboro tonight, the police department is hosting a hiring event at the training center on Church Street. It starts at 5:30. Interested candidates can even jumpstart the process by taking both a physical and mental test. Recently, the city approved a new starting salary for officers with hopes of improving recruitment and retention.
Alamance Burlington Schools is taking steps to make sure it doesn't have a repeat of mold issues like they had at the start of the school year. The district says it bought 330 new dehumidifiers to help control moisture. You'll remember that district delayed the start of the school year by 2 weeks after mold impacted nearly 30 buildings. It cost the district millions to clean it all up.
And gold medal gymnast Mary Lou Retton is in the hospital with a rare form of pneumonia. Retton is recognized around the world for her performance in the 1984 Olympics. She scored perfect tens on her vault and floor routines. She also won 5 medals, more than any other athlete during those games. Her daughter Kelly is keeping fans updated on social media. Right now, she is in the ICU.
Lots of clouds we've seen over the course of the day today in the Triad. That's all thanks to low pressure situated just along the Gulf, ushering in mid to upper level clouds throughout the day today. Highs today only made it into the upper 60s. As a result, this system's going to continue to push northeast. Again, in our neck of the woods, not expecting high rain chances, at least from this system, but lots more clouds into the night tonight. And you could see them here illustrated in our Greensboro sky cam. Temps right now situated in the middle and upper 60s. Same weather story across the area. Upper 60s, 69 in Asheboro, 67 in High Point and in Greensboro. Here's our futurecast clouds and radar with the system passing just to our south. Again, lots of clouds throughout the night tonight and heading into tomorrow morning, but starting to see some more peaks of sunshine. Again, slim shower chance throughout the day on Thursday in association with this system, but going to be pretty nice and dry throughout the day on Thursday and for the majority of the day on Friday, but that's all ahead of a cold front moving toward our area that is going to up rain chances Friday night and into your Saturday. But the next 12 hours still remaining pretty cloudy, back in the upper 50s and lower 60s starting off the day tomorrow. Now, next couple of days, we're going to see those rain chances slowly begin to rise into Friday and into the day on Saturday. And behind that, much cooler air is on the way into next week. I've got the full weather story coming up in just a bit.
Claire, thank you. Tonight it will be ice cold at the PNC Arena as the Canes host the Ottawa Senators for their season opener.
That's right. The team is already getting into game mode, and they got trash talk going on. They posted this ahead of their match. The Senators stuck in a hurricane.
WFMY News News' Amanda Ferguson joins us live from PNC Arena ahead of the puck drop. Amanda.
Hey guys, well, you know, the Carolina Hurricanes are really good on social media, so they're always talking trash about their opponent, and it's pretty funny. But hey guys, we are just outside PNC Arena getting ready for all of the action to start. The Carolina Hurricanes opening the season tonight. Yes, we have another season of hockey getting underway, getting ready to take on the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Canes haven't won a Stanley Cup in nearly 2 decades. They were really close last year, ending up in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, according to a lot of preseason predictions, this could be their year. The Canes could be lifting up the cup at the end of the season. They're coming off their 3rd straight division title. They have brought back a lot of their young core and added some veterans to this team. We got 82 games to go in this thing. Number 1 starting tonight. Now, Andrei Svechnikov, their forward, he will not be in this game tonight. He is still recovering from a knee injury. They hope to have him soon, but again, he will not be available for tonight's game. The Canes and Senators get things going here at 7 p.m. and we'll have all that action for you coming up on WFMY News 2 at 11.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Looking forward to that. From the ice to the asphalt, the NASCAR season is in full swing, and there's a growing push to diversify the sport. David Wiesnett shows us how a new program in Morrisville is helping young drivers get behind the wheel.
Nathan Lyons is just 14 years old, but he's mixing it up pretty well on the track today. That's good, because when he's off the track, he'll be evaluated for how he did. That's the story for Nathan and 14 other drivers from the ages of 12 to 20-something here today, and that's why they have a camera mounted on the go-kart. Nathan's story began when he was 6, and other than a love for Lightning McQueen, he had no interest in NASCAR. But then there was this reading contest.
I had a program at my school and they gave us free NASCAR tickets. You had to read enough books and I really wanted to go. So ever since that, I've been addicted to the sport.
That addiction led to a life-changing adjustment for Nathan's family.
2 years ago, I moved from Texas to North Carolina to start racing, and now I'm here.
I mean, this is race city here, so I mean, if you want to be a racer, you come to Charlotte.
Said Mom Leah as she watched Nathan turn every lap during the afternoon session. All of these drivers here say they have that dream of competing at NASCAR's highest levels.
I hope so. It's the ultimate goal. That's why we made the big move to pursue it.
And NASCAR says the Drive for Diversity program was designed to get them there.
So it'll be evaluated on how well they take and apply feedback, how physically fit that they are. These carts are pretty heavy and they're pretty quick, so they get around. It's a good workout for the drivers.
Coaches give feedback on everything from driving to fitness to how to speak to reporters.
The ideal driver is fast. The ideal driver has a great personality and is willing to learn.
Nathan Lyons hopes he fits the bill, and he says once he discovered racing, everything changed.
Before that, I was just a normal kid playing with crayons.
I just want him to go as fast as he can and do the best that he can.
Woo, he is taking off.
Scooting down the road there.
Yeah.
Good for him, because with that kind of sport, you have to start really early. Like they said, he started at 6 years old to learn how to drive those cars. I don't know, have you ever seen it in person?
Never seen it in person.
So I didn't either until I was an adult, and then I finally went to when I was actually covering it for my station in Tampa where I used to work. And you don't believe how fast they're going until you see it in person. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, and the noises and the sounds and just all of it's just probably electric out there. I gotta make sure I get out there. But I love programs like this, especially when it comes to diversity and inclusion as well too. I know in the interview we spoke with the young boy, but also there was a woman in the picture frame as well too. So I think this is just excellent. The mom said it, that if you wanna get involved with NASCAR and driving, you gotta come to Charlotte. So that's just a pretty interesting take. And they have a lot of NASCAR things, great things going on in Charlotte
yeah,
as well,
it's kind of North Carolina, Florida, the two biggies for NASCAR. Very good. All right, don't forget that the 2024 NASCAR All-Star Race, it's coming back to North Wilkesboro next year. Tickets already on sale on the Speedway's website. They have single-day race events, weekend packages, and tickets to the camping grounds. That's where the fun is. NASCAR made the decision to come back to the historic Speedway after that great turnout earlier this year. We'll be back. Checky, checky. Before you wrecky. All right, we're keeping our eye on the Triad Jeopardy contestant. Lawrence Long is headed to the semifinals in the 2023 Champions Wildcard Series. This comes after his victory last week in the quarterfinals. Long is a Yadkin County native, and he's already been on the show 4 times. The semifinals competition starts on Friday.
How exciting.
Yes, in honor of Jeopardy, we decided to do a little trivia. So we're not pitting you guys against each other like we normally do.
Oh man,
I know Sydney was
I like
disappointed.
going against people.
I'm pretty
Play
competitive,
games,
but that's
work
all right.
together.
Yeah.
We usually have a little bell and everybody rings it, but today I'm gonna let you guys work as a team.
Okay.
So you'll come up with your final answer. And these are actual Jeopardy questions that aired at some point. Some of them are older, so they may have been in the last 20 or 30 years, but still.
Let me just say something. I am not great at Jeopardy, though. I gotta say, I'm
me either.
competitive, but I'm not that great at
All
Jeopardy.
right, so this first one, they start out easy, right? Get
Okay.
harder. I got 4 questions that are actors and their roles
Okay.
in any kind of visual medium. The music video in which Michael Jackson plays both a werewolf and a zombie.
Oh my gosh.
You know this.
Video.
Sing it.
Man, it's not Annie. No. Yeah. What is Thriller?
Yes,
Yeah, just
very good.
Thriller.
What is
Oh, you don't
Thriller?
have to say the Jeopardy. The what
Oh,
is.
I don't. I
Yeah.
can just say Thriller.
All right, so 2 long time ago, Saturday Night Live alumni, they starred in a movie called Trading Places.
I don't know that.
You want me to give
Skip.
you that? Give it up? Okay.
Yeah, skip.
That's Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
This actor played James Bond in Never Say Never Again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
First guess.
I know I don't know
Quick.
it. Try it. You got it.
Old school, I'll tell you it's old.
Sean? I don't know his last name.
I don't know his last name.
Sean Connery.
Okay,
Yes, that's
Connery.
right. I'll give you half
Connery.
a
Okay.
point. for
Half
that.
a point. Half a point.
All right, so the blonde who was preferred in the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Gotcha.
And this is old too. It's 1950s.
Maybe I should have studied before.
I feel like I
coming.
should have studied, too.
Is it Legally Blonde?
No, this is
No?
the actor's name. That played-
Actor's name. Gotcha.
Actress.
Actress.
Blonde 1950s. That's my hint for you.
Oh.
Iconic.
And what was the?
Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. I'm gonna
Man.
skip it.
Why don't I know it?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn
Yes, that's what-
Monroe.
all right,
Oh,
so
well,
this
that-
is a lot
okay.
easier. A lot easier. What is the native language of these countries? Argentina.
Oh my goodness.
Not just.
You can guess that one. Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, no.
5 seconds. 4.
It's not just Spanish.
Yes,
isn't
it is. Yes, you're
Okay,
correct.
okay.
All right, Austria. And don't say Austrian.
No. I was gonna
No,
say
no,
that.
no.
I was gonna say that. Gosh.
How much time do we have?
Hungarian?
No.
No.
More common than that. Might surprise you, actually. It's a European language. You ready?
Go ahead.
German. They
Oh
speak
my
German.
goodness.
I know.
German.
Austria is German. Canada, both languages.
English
is
is
one.
Think about the cities.
Quebec.
Quebec.
Cool. Yes.
Montreal.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Man.
3, 2, French and English. All right, this is the one that I couldn't get. Egypt.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed
only
too.
have like
This
10
is
seconds.
I thought
live.
this would be
Hold on.
fun,
This
and
is
now
live
I'm
TV.
embarrassed.
Now I'm
These are the last
embarrassed.
2 that are hard. Egypt, I didn't know this at all. Arabic. And then the last one
Okay.
is Brazil, not Spanish.
No, not Spanish. It's not Spanish.
One
Yeah.
of you almost said it earlier when I said Argentina, I think.
Yeah, it's Portuguese.
Portuguese, that's very good. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
We went out with a bell, so that's all that
There you
matters.
go.
Yeah.
We did.
We're
That's what
coming right
matters.
back.
Clouds will continue to dominate the area tonight, and that's all thanks to low pressure in the Gulf, ushering in those mid to upper level clouds. This is a live look across the area. Lots of dense clouds out there, and temperatures as a result only managed to climb into the upper 60s across the area. Here's a closer look at that low pressure system that is grabbing moisture from the Gulf, going to continue to push northeast just to our south heading into tomorrow morning. So taking that cloud coverage, the bulk of it with it as it pushes offshore. High pressure going to be coming into the area at least briefly into Friday before that next front starts coming in, heading into Friday night and into the day on Saturday. Look at the high-res futurecast throughout the night tonight. Lots of dense clouds. There goes that low pressure system just to our south. Could bring in an isolated shower or two into tomorrow, so something to keep in mind. But for the most part, starting to see more and more sunshine into tomorrow afternoon and throughout the day on Friday. Of course, that's ahead of changes on the way Friday night and into Saturday as we're watching our next system move into the area. That cold front upping up those rain chances heading into Saturday. Off and on rain is going to be likely before sunshine returns, and much cooler air also returns heading into Sunday. But a look heading into tomorrow, starting to see a little bit more sunshine, a little bit cooler sitting, a little bit warmer sitting in the 70s. Next 12 hours, we're falling back down into the 60s and 50s with much cooler conditions heading into Sunday and into next week.
Did you know that it's the 155th annual North Carolina State Fair? Wow, it's older than me. It kicks off tomorrow in Raleigh. And before the big day, inspectors with the State Department of Labor are working to make sure all rides are safe, of course. Inspectors say they check rides that every time that they set them up, they got to make sure that the ride is operating properly, which includes checking restraints, of course, those stop switches, trip hazards, and the overall mechanical operation. In addition to making sure that the rides work properly, inspectors are also making sure that every ride is insured and is issued a metal NC identification tag. While the State Fair does kick off tomorrow, the official opening ceremony is scheduled for Friday. That happens in the Tobacco Pavilion.
Sticking with the State Fair, our very own Christian Morgan is getting a taste test of all the fair food just for you. Today we are getting a review on the fair's new cinnamon apple crunch bread pudding bites. Christian says it's fall in a bite.
All right, so if you watched the Good Morning Show for a long time, you probably know this lady. Miss Chef Felicia is here at the State Fair, and I walked by and I could smell this table. All right, so Chef Felicia, tell me what we got going on here.
Well, what we got going on, they called your name. It was like, come on, let's get in here,
yeah.
get the good stuff. I have done this year, we wanted to do something sweet. So we did a deep fried cinnamon apple crunch bread pudding bites. And it's a good homemade bread pudding, topped with our special batter, and then it's got some cinnamon sugar crystals on it to make it good and crunchy. And then we'll do a little bit of an apple compote, homemade apple compote, and some praline pecans, butterscotch chips, whipped cream, caramel sauce, and a little bit more cinnamon sugar to make you happy.
Oh, tell me what's in the sauce.
This is just like a cream cheese. Some people keep saying it's a creme brulee, which is close, but it is like a cream cheese icing. Everything we serve has the icing or a dip or something like that, so
absolutely
couldn't do it without, having it on there with this one too. So.
And you have to get this. You know why? It's local. It's from Greensboro.
That's right. Y'all know who I am.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I cannot wait for this. I wish you could smell this. At this point in time, how come we've not come up with smell-o-vision? All right, so we got the bread pudding. We put the sauce on it with all the other stuff that she said. Let's go. So much flavor. You get the hint of the apple. The butterscotch chips kind of hit you right off the top, but it's soft, it's hot. The bread pudding is moist, and the sauce kind of ties it all together with the extra little sweet kick. I mean, honestly, it's not quite as sweet as you may think it would be. So good. You got to stop by and see Chef Felicia at the State Fair.
Christian kills me.
No, he had me at sweet kick.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where he got me.
I was laughing because the way he does it, it's like he's doing a fine wine, like a hint of butterscotch and rosemary, and a fine Chianti.
Yeah, it definitely looks super delicious. It was so nice seeing Chef Felicia as well too. Haven't seen her in a while, but gosh, I mean, he made that dish look really, really good. There's so many different things I'm maybe possibly excited to try.
Yeah.
I'm not always a big person on trying new things, but it's kind of hard not to when you go to the fair.
I kind of stick to the classics, like my fried Oreos. They're always going to be a go-to for me at the fair. And plus, my stomach's kind of selective, so gotta be careful with that.
Savory stuff, you're not like the turkey leg and all that stuff, no?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Turkey leg, you can't go wrong with
leg,
that.
right?
I saw a mac and cheese stuffed turkey leg one year. First of all, I don't know how they did that. I'm not quite sure I want to know, but I would eat it.
It is interesting.
Yeah, but
Wow.
I would try it anyway.
Yep.
All right, remember you can try all the fair food. This starts tomorrow when the gates open. The NC State Fair goes until October 22nd. You can find schedules, maps, ticket information. It's all on the fair's website. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the second half of the 4 to 5. Claire, Eric, Sydney with you today on this Wednesday.
Yes, certainly hope you all are doing well.
Yes. A little rain coming in maybe Saturday, is that right?
Yep, absolutely. Definitely want to keep the umbrella on hand for Saturday, but it'll also be much cooler behind that front heading into the later end of the weekend and into next week. More on that, though, to come.
All right, we'll talk about that. Right now, the State Department now confirms 22 Americans are among the dead in the savage terror attacks in Israel.
Yeah, the war has claimed more than 2,200 lives on both sides so far and catapulted to the top concern of the U.S. and other Israeli allies. So the USS Gerald Ford is now in the eastern Mediterranean to deter any would-be actors from jumping into the conflict.
Israel continues to bombard Gaza, in this video coming perilously close to a hotel typically used by aid workers and media, as Hamas fires rockets from within the embattled territory. Israel's military says it killed dozens of Hamas militants Wednesday hiding in the Be'eri kibbutz area. At the nearby Kfar Aza kibbutz, Israeli security forces say terrorists took brutality to a new level, decapitating children, including babies.
You see the babies, the mother, the fathers in their bedroom.
The Israeli Defense Ministry released video of the first delivery of advanced U.S. weaponry. President Biden and Vice President Harris spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu again Wednesday morning, voicing unwavering support.
And this moment, we have to be crystal clear. There is no justification for terrorism.
The United Nations Secretary General called for the immediate release of more than 100 hostages held by Hamas and expressed serious concern for any spillover from the conflict. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN pleaded for aid to be allowed into Gaza's 2.3 million residents. Israeli airstrikes have taken out entire city blocks, and Gaza's only power plant has run out of fuel.
There has to be a humanitarian intervention in order to avoid a looming catastrophe.
The U.S. is discussing the issue of safe passage for civilians from Gaza.
Civilians are not to blame for what Hamas has done.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is headed to Israel as the crisis grows deeper by the day.
So what we were saying earlier, the USS Gerald Ford, it is now in the eastern Mediterranean and trying to stop or deter any would-be actors from jumping into that conflict. Now, meanwhile, back here at home, Guilford County State Representative John Hardister introduced a new joint resolution that would offer support for Israel. The resolution expresses North Carolina's commitment to supporting Israel and sends an official message to our leaders in Washington, imploring them to stand firm in our support. The resolution passed the House unanimously.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Just a few hours ago, House Republicans nominated Representative Steve Scalise to be the new House Speaker. He is the majority leader. Right now, in a private vote, House Republicans picked him over Representative Jim Jordan. Now the House has to vote to make this official. They could vote as soon as tonight. The leadership pause in the House has essentially stalled Congress, leaving it unable to conduct business with a potential government shutdown looming next month.
So get this, Utah is suing TikTok, claiming that the social media app is harmful to children because of the amount of time that kids spend on it. Utah is seeking fines and an injunction to stop TikTok from violating state laws against deceptive business practices. A TikTok spokesperson told Reuters that it has safeguards in place for young users. Several other states, including Indiana and Arkansas, have also filed lawsuits against TikTok.
The U.S. Coast Guard has recovered the last of the debris from the Titan submersible that imploded back in June, killing all 5 on board. Engineers recovered the evidence, which includes presumed human remains from the North Atlantic seafloor. OceanGate, the Everett-based company that built the submersible, suspended operations after the tragedy. The Coast Guard's Marine Board of Investigation will analyze the evidence ahead of a public hearing.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission says that junk fees cost Americans billions of dollars every year. Now the White House wants to change that. Michael George has the details.
Consumers searching online for a hotel room base their selection on the advertised price. But at checkout, there are often added costs, including resort fees.
fees known as junk fees.
President Biden is pushing for new rules that would force companies to post the full price up front on everything from hotel stays to utility bills.
Folks can end up paying as much as 20% more because of hidden junk fees.
If the rules are finalized, businesses would be banned from charging hidden fees. They'd also be required to show if fees are refundable, and companies that don't disclose fees could be subject to penalties. That would include tickets for concerts and sporting events. Some companies, like Ticketmaster, have already made a change so customers can opt to see prices with fees included. The Biden administration also wants to lower credit card late charges and make cable fees transparent.
Any advice for consumers is how they can avoid or limit the damage these fees are inflicting on them?
I think consumers have to be aware that this is a strategy that many businesses are following.
Chuck Bell with Consumer Reports says until these new measures take effect, consumers need to do their research.
Sometimes you might find that you're on the internet for 15 minutes researching all the fees that you might be charged. But right now, that's the only way to know what the full cost is going to be.
It will likely be months before the proposed rules can be put into place.
Highs today were a little bit cooler than anticipated, and that's all thanks to these mid to upper level clouds being ushered in by low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, slowly pushing northeast again for us. I'm not expecting those rain chances to go up very much. Again, isolated shower or two possible into tomorrow at best, but for the most part, starting to see some more sunshine tomorrow afternoon and evening and throughout the day on Friday. That's all ahead of a cold front, though, sweeping and upping those rain chances Friday night and into your Saturday. Temperatures right now are lingering in the middle and upper 60s again, not quite what we anticipated. 67 currently in High Point and in Winston-Salem. A look at the futurecast clouds and radar. Again, mostly cloudy conditions throughout the night tonight. Isolated shower or two. Can't completely rule it out, but for the most part, that moisture is going to stay well to our south. More sunshine on the way for tomorrow afternoon and throughout the evening. Next 12 hours, we're back down into the 60s and upper 50s to start the day off tomorrow. 7-day forecast featuring some changes. Again, stray shower or two possible heading into your Thursday afternoon and evening. Evening shower also possible on Friday. Rain chances, though, beginning to skyrocket late Friday night and into Saturday ahead of a cold front. And you're going to feel the impacts of that cooler air sweeping into the area Sunday and especially into next week. We're back down to the 60s. Overnight lows sitting in the lower 40s heading into next week.
Claire, thank you. Tonight will be the 36th drawing for the current Powerball jackpot that has become the second largest in the game history. Is that crazy?
Crazy or so huge. Now, since the drawing on Monday, we've spotted several people out buying tickets and giving their luck a chance here. They're hoping to win the estimated $1.7 billion jackpot.
Number one, it's now a nationwide lottery, so everyone everywhere in the country can buy this, which means there's a lot of people contributing to the jackpot. Second thing they've done is they've made these tickets not just $1, but $2, which means the jackpot grows twice as fast as it did a decade ago. And the third thing they've done is they've made it harder to win that jackpot.
These big jackpots are happening more often. Of the 10 largest U.S. lotteries, 6 have all come within the last year. Only 5 states don't have the lottery: Alabama, Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, and Utah, which means more people are in the game because so many states have allowed it. We caught up with some folks who were out buying tickets who talked about what they would buy if they won it all.
I'd buy my mom a car. My dad's been wanting a Jeep, and he's been looking at like a $10,000 Jeep from like 2004, and I'm like, Dad, like, what are you doing? Like, let's go get a $65,000 brand new Jeep, whatever. I would donate to like churches and stuff and charity and whatnot, and give like a % of that. And then I'd get stuff for my sisters. I have 2 sisters, so whatever they want, I'd be like, do you want a car? Do you want a house? Let's go get it.
I think his friend was just like, yeah, what he said. All right, so with this in mind, we asked you on Facebook, what would you do to improve North Carolina? Because that's the kind of money that you could do that with. G. Wilkerson says, first, I would pay for all the outstanding debts for feeding all the school children. How cool is that? That's a great idea.
That is awesome.
George says, help with school supplies and homeless, turn old malls or buildings into small, affordable apartments. Leslie says, I would donate some money for Duke Hospital transplant recipients for housing and other necessities while in the area. I would also donate to Davidson Medical Ministries. They help so many people that can't afford health care. I would also do some random acts of kindness. Tina says, I would help ensure the homeless had access to real support, safe places to live, and also access to food. Life is tough right now, and so many with winter approaching, it's hard to think about people being cold and hungry. And James Thornberry says, hire a special police force that focuses on people that don't use their turn signal. He is bettering North Carolina.
You know, how about
One car at a time.
Yep. How about that? And the slow drivers that are in all the way to the left lane.
The left lane.
I know. Get in that right lane. For me, I would put it towards mental health resources. That would be the #1 thing for me.
You know, so that's only a few. We can't show you who we had. I had 150 something comments. A lot of people were homeless. They were always like building more for the homeless, the apartments that are affordable. And so some person said, I would build apartments and I would rent them for much less than what other apartments are going for right now, just to give people an option. That's not a bad idea, because when you have that kind of money, you can drop $20 million on an apartment complex.
Just like that.
Like that.
Yeah, and affordable housing, I mean, you can't have enough of it. I mean, for the amount of people that need it, for sure.
So many different things you could do to just improve the state and the community that you're in. So it was great hearing those responses.
My selfish one is I need a beach house. That's my selfish one.
We all have some good selfish ones out there.
We'll be right back. So the Texas A&M Physics Department is trending for all the right reasons. They're honestly, at this point, a social media sensation.
That's right. Their videos have accumulated more than 500 million views due to the unbridled energy of professor who conducts physics and shows the kids, a part of the university's outreach efforts.
3, 2, 1!
Aggie physics professor Tatiana Yorohimova is a force of nature.
What's happening? What's happening?
Kids are thrilled whether she's demonstrating liquid nitrogen or vacuum pumps on marshmallows.
I'm pumping out air. No pressure from outside, same pressure from inside.
She averages 50 shows a year on campus.
So I need a volunteer from each row.
Undergraduate students build the models and assist, all to share their love of science.
An average person can go out and do this cool physics experiment, understand it, and be able to replicate it and explain it to others.
They use everyday items from balloon animals to toilet paper, all hoping to inspire the next generation of physicists.
One of you has to find the material that behaves as a superconductor at room temperature. Nobel Prize is guaranteed. Don't forget to send me email when you get it.
She's been doing this since 2007, and it's helped recruit new Aggies.
Some students who were here in middle school, I see them in my class. They tell me, do you remember me? Not really, but yes.
Energy, joy, and knowledge are infectious.
We have 1.93 million subscribers on the Texas A&M Physics channel.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that physics has more subscribers than Texas A&M athletics?
It's hard not to be excited once you see all these super cool experiments. Look, no strings, Ma. And it hasn't just generated all that social media excitement, but dollars and cents as well.
Distinguished Professor of Physics Ed Fry began the shows at a hugely popular annual physics festival. Both have helped with endowments and gifts.
I think about 65 million or something like that.
As for the kids, what are they talking about?
Something that's a superconductor at room temperature.
I love physics. It just turned into my new favorite subject.
Liquid nitrogen goes in!
Because basic science can be explosive. And rain down all kinds of new ideas.
Oh, I love how that girl says she made it our new favorite subject, physics, one of the students said. But that's what learning is just all about, you know, making it fun when you can, because certain subjects is tough to do that. But these are the types of educators that you will remember forever and ever and ever. This reminds me, she kind of gives me energy. Do you remember the show, The Magic School Bus or something like that, when the kids went off to different places? It just reminds me of just that energy that she has.
He's kind of like a Bill Nye the Science Guy on steroids.
Yeah, that's right.
Like way built up.
I just like with those teachers, you can tell when they're so passionate. You know, like I wouldn't normally like physics, but she makes these kids love it.
Right.
You know.
So I did make the mistake of trying to be a chemistry major at my first year and a half at Carolina. Changed that. But an organic chemistry professor that I had was awesome. He would take the models and run up to us in the front row and go, "See, you can't break that bond," you know.
Yeah.
And everybody, you can't not pay attention.
Gosh, it's so fun.
I still had to drop the class, but that's a whole other story.
Hey, but you remembered it. You remembered it.
I do remember.
Yeah,
I liked
right.
him. All right, we'll be right back.
Well, you won't believe what you are about to see on your screen. Check this out. A Missouri man has broken the world record for longest paddle in a pumpkin. You got to think of it like the water version of Cinderella's pumpkin carriage without all the magic. On Monday, Steve Cooney embarked on a 38-mile journey across the Kansas and Missouri River. Look at him go inside a 1,300-pound pumpkin. He says he grew the pumpkin himself and added a few sandbags on the floor of the pumpkin to keep him stable. Before he made his world record attempt, he talked about the process, getting the giant pumpkin to float.
So we test floated it before we carved it so that we would know which end wanted to be up. And once we figured that out, we just marked it, cut the hole at the center, and but we have not test floated it with the hole cut. So this may take all day or it may be over in 5 minutes.
In all, the trip took him about 11 hours.
You know what I think pulled it all together was that American flag life jacket that he was repping on this 1,300-pound pumpkin while he was rowing.
You know what?
I just love that.
What freaks me out, I'm not a great swimmer. So what freaks me out, it's not the fact that if that thing were to tip over, it's the fact that if I'm wedged in that thing and I tip over, I'd be panicked. Like that's why I like, what's the, I don't like kayaks very much because I feel like.
I think I'll just stick to a kayak, to be honest, but that's.
Then the pumpkin.
It's pretty interesting, but I know he said that they tested it, to make sure that it floats and all that good stuff, but.
Still would be. All right, we need a giant pumpkin race with all of us going down the Yadkin River. See if we can do it.
Though.
It is cool. Is it slimy in there?
I would think so. Yes.
They probably carved it really, really well
or put
to make
something
sure.
in there.
Yeah,
that
for
would
sure.
be gross. All right, sticking with the pumpkins, a Minnesota farmer now holds bragging rights for growing the largest pumpkin in world history. The record-setting heavyweight was crowned at California's 50th annual Safeway World Heavyweight Championship. This gigantic pumpkin named Michael Jordan, I'm sure he loves that, weighed in at 2,749 pounds, squashing, get it, the previous world record set years ago in Italy by 47 pounds. Grower and defending champion Travis Tanger says he named the pumpkin after Jordan because his former jersey number 23 meshes nicely with this year. 23. He also hauled his Godzilla-sized gourd from Anoka, Minnesota. That is a 33-hour road trip with that thing. The prize-winning pumpkin bested dozens of other entries in the contest. Organizers had to actually use forklifts and harnesses to carefully lift each pumpkin onto an industrial scale for the weigh-in there. That is
getting
huge.
pulled over and being like, "What's there in the back?" Oh, well, just
it's a giant
just
pumpkin.
a giant
And
pumpkin.
I know.
State trooper's like, open the back.
Open the back.
I am curious though, while we are on the topic of pumpkins, have you all gone to a pumpkin patch yet
Not
so far?
yet.
I've been
Not yet.
passing by so many, and I'm like, I need to make time to go to a pumpkin patch, but I've never done it ever before.
Oh,
Ever.
really?
Never.
Oh, Sydney, you got it.
I know.
Hot chocolate, apple cider, walk around.
And just get out there and go to town.
Come do it with my kids, and I'll let you keep up with them.
We have a great
I
time.
can't keep up with it. By the way, that guy, Ganger, took home more than $50,000 and a championship ring, and of course, bragging rights.
How do you even grow a pumpkin that big?
There are special ways they do it. It's not like a normal thing.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time too.
Yeah.
All right, forecast. We're getting cold eventually. Is that
Ooh,
right?
eventually, yeah. We're certainly keeping an eye on low pressure to our south. That's kind of been bringing in these clouds that we've been seeing throughout the day today. Tomorrow, though, we are seeing a little bit more sunshine. Also going to be a little bit warmer. We're back in the lower middle 70s next 12 hours, falling back down into the upper 50s with those clouds starting to clear out. So into tonight, lower 50s, mainly cloudy skies. But tomorrow we are partly cloudy. We are back in the lower 70s. Again, stray shower or two possible. Full 7-day forecast, though, showing the effects of that cold front as we head into the weekend. Back in the middle 60s for Sunday. Lower 60s heading into the new work week for highs. Overnight lows sitting in the chilly lower 40s. Doing a mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, mic check, mic check.
Get a recommendation from this one after you get it done.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check, check.
I don't think that I would need one if it was teachers' pay raises. You've heard a lot about it over the last few years, but hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
October is Depression Awareness Month. According to Mental Health America, depression affects 21 million people in the country. I want my 2 cents for today to shed light on depression. If you think you may be experiencing it, know that it's okay to talk to someone because you are not alone. Depression is something that can impact how you feel or act. You may be in a good mood one day, then down the next. You might even find yourself not wanting to participate in activities you used to find interesting, or even hang around people you love because you feel isolated. It's like the world is constantly moving, except you, and that can feel daunting. Depression can be triggered by a load of things: loss, illness, job, or money problems. Those things can take a toll on you, but I'm here to tell you there is joy waiting for you. Easier said than done, right? Well, first things first, admit you are struggling. 2, seek out a trusted friend, loved one, religious leader, or counselor. 3, that thing you've been putting off for weeks that you enjoy, I want you to tap back into that a day at a time. And 4, get active. Now, I'm no health expert, but whenever I'm experiencing a down moment, I found that doing at least one of these things helps me take a step toward healing. That's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Teacher pay raises. You've heard a lot about it over the last few weeks after lawmakers finally passed a new state budget. We've learned not everyone, though, is getting a bump.
The recent increase totals out a 7% jump, but won't apply to all educators. WFMY News 2's Daniel Cruz